Today I learned that just the way you should not judge a book by its cover, you should not judge a movie by its song. As nonsensical as the Wiki Yappa Yappa song is, no, don't tell me it is not Wiki Yappa Yappa. It is. The movie is actually fun, interesting, and relevant. Here's what I liked about the movie and some obvious drawbacks. The Junaid Khan and Khushi Kapoor starer. The Junaid Khan and Khushi Kapoor starer starts off with what looks like an extended version of a high budget ad film for OnePlus phones. Or was that Oppo? OnePlus phones. But soon the story picks up and gets straight into the matter at hand, which is two star-crossed lovers think they're ready for marriage till their trust in each other is tested by a phone swap. तुम अपना फोन एक दिन के लिए बानी को दोगे और बानी तुम अपना फोन एक दिन के लिए गौरव को दो. Here's what took me by surprise. The movie starts off as a comedy but takes such a dark turn in the second half. And this switch is, surprisingly not forced at all, because the negative that is highlighted is as prevalent and easy to become a victim of as is, say, perhaps sending a thumbs up emoji to messages you don't want to reply to. So let's start with the first half of the movie. The graphics designer took home a fat check, okay, for this part, because it is really brought alive by really good visual tricks inspired by several social media platforms. It's a job well done if you compare it to how the same idea was implemented in Game Changer, where the graphics had no contribution to storytelling. In some form of leveling the ground for gender equality, I guess, the plot focuses on the shortcomings of the female protagonist and gives a proper 360-degree view of her social media activities.
ये तो शुक्र मानो कि पापा को तब के तपासुर मांगने की नहीं सूझी.
Which includes stringing and benching men who are somewhere in the buffer zone before loverhood.
You know I love you, right?
Karan, I love you too.
I really loved this sequence, which I bet was sourced from actual DMs of women. It's a snapshot of all the messages which range from the hi, good morning, डीपी में क्लीवेज दिख रहा है, चेंज कर दो, रिप्लाई नहीं किया तो नस काट दूंगा, etc. Clearly, men are never at the receiving end of such messages, because why else would Junaid Khan react that way in the scene? The first half also introduces all the characters, primary and secondary, and gives you enough background so that you can follow the story without, randomly dropping new cast members to push into the next act. There are a couple of songs that start and end quick while reminding the audience that Junaid can't dance. And Khushi Kapoor has really practiced her steps and is very focused on not messing up the choreography. Acha, the first half also has in one of its starting scenes a close-up of Khushi Kapoor's smile. Now you have to get used to this because you will be seeing a lot of it in the rest of the movie. It's literally like 90% of the expression she wears throughout the runtime. The second half has the main protagonist's online bullshit in the limelight. He almost got a clean chit because Khushi Kapoor's Bani is bit of a dodo, and it wasn't until her father in the movie restores the deleted data that we, the audience, as well as Bani herself, gets a glimpse into all the nonsense Gaurav has been doing. Junaid Khan's character is called Gaurav. If Bani was the chased, Gaurav is the chaser. And he has not been chasing just Bani, he has apparently been chasing half of Delhi's female population.
सीआर में एक भी लड़की है जिस पे तूने लाइन नहीं मारी है.
I really laughed out loud when he said that line that, he's looking for actors for a short film his friend is making. Because if you're a woman, there is no way you have not received one of those, hi, I'm a photographer, want a collab DMs. I will not believe you. Now coming to the grim part of the movie. A situation is thrown at you that brings you face to face with the malice of deepfake and the obsession with porn and how it reaches a criminal level when it is mixed with the frustrations of a low quality man who is suffering from unrequited love. The other thing you get to see is how jokes which you think are harmless at some level can become malignant and reach a point where it can literally destroy lives. The second half is less of an animation showcase and deals with more mature themes. There is a range of emotions which is supposed to be conveyed by the actors, but can they do it? Did they do it well? Let's talk about the acting and the actors. Starting with Junaid Khan. Have you seen Maharaj, by the way? People were going gaga about his acting, but I now think it was all just PR. He is good to an extent, but kabhi yaar he is pitched against Jaideep Pehlawat, so now Ashutosh Rana. I mean, actors of the highest order. It's only natural his shortcomings will stand out. He knows how to frown and he makes this face that expresses frustration. It's the face people make when they're complaining about something.
मेरा भेजा खा के पेट नहीं भरा क्या तेरा?
And he makes this face in most scenes. I remember people were highlighting that there is never any mention of his father anyway. He doesn't use it for clout. But for whatever reason, in this movie, the makers decided that people needed to be reminded that he is Amir Khan's son. And so there is this big blown up clip from the Pehla Nasha song playing in the background of one of the songs. I forgot the name. His dialogue delivery is also kind of off somewhere.
पानी उसे ड्राइव नहीं गेट अवे बोलते हैं गेट अवे.
It sounds like he has practiced the lines so much and he is unable to produce it naturally. It happens with me sometimes when I practice a line too many times, I forget how to say everyday words. Like in my last video, I said gun instead of gun, and I swear I know how to say gun. Also, I think he was trying to emulate how Delhiites speak. So I don't really understand why they had to pick Delhi as the setting of the story, because it's not like people don't dabble in micro affairs in Bombay. So maybe if the story was set in Bombay, the dialogue delivery might have been a little smoother or more convincing if he just stuck to an accent he is familiar with. Speaking of dialogue delivery, yikes, Khushi Kapoor. She is a happy young woman who seems never to have experienced anger, frustration, or fear in her real life. Or maybe she's one of those people who are not very expressive. I love such people. You know, they're just so peaceful and calm to be around. But also, this trait is a massive disadvantage if you choose to act in mainstream Bollywood movies where you have to show a range of emotions which are maybe alien to you. Well, at least she did more than she did in that godforsaken production, Archie's. She has a long way to go before the audience can take her seriously, but I think she will eventually get there. Junaid and Khushi are an odd couple whose vibes don't match. It was a little uncomfortable looking at them try and then not try again, at the same time. Love Yapa is a movie where the supporting cast outshines the lead pair. Ashutosh Rana plays Bani's father, who is a super smart, super calculative, attention to detail, read your mind kind of a guy.
और मेरे घर में भी मैं जो चाहता हूँ वही होता है.
He is not easy to impress and he likes to thokke bajao things for quality check. He orchestrates the entire phone swap condition to give the lovebirds a reality check. He speaks in Shuddh Hindi or plain Sanskrit, I'm not sure, but nobody understands what he says and he comes across as a show off, if you ask me. He also plays a sitar, pulling the strings of the instrument just as he pulls the strings of the plot. Grusha Kapoor is quite amazing as Gaurav's mom, sick and tired of her son's phone addiction.
हर 2 साल में फोन बदले जाते हैं गुच्ची, रिश्ते नहीं.
She is also another benchmark to compare the acting skills of the lead pair to. There is a subplot centered on Gaurav's sister's wedding, and the sister is getting married to a person played by Kiku Sharda, and Kiku Sharda does an amazing job also. Their relationship is the flip side of the whole social media is a place to breed options coin. There was no real need of this subplot except to highlight the issue of online bullying and body shaming, which obviously could not be done through the main lead because such mainstream movies always require the lead to be physically very attractive and flawless. The screenplay keeps you engaged and the pace of the movie is consistent, though I think it was a little faster in the first half. The dialogues are witty and relevant to the story. The cringy parts are meant to be cringy, so digest it. Though I don't understand why Ashutosh Rana had to speak in Sanskrit because anyway nobody was understanding him, and then he was switching from Shuddh Sanskrit to regular Hindi or What was the need? Advait Chandan has already proved that he's a pretty good director with movies like Secret Superstar and Lal Singh Chadda. Though Lavyapa is a remake of a Tamil movie called Love Today, and he may have had something to work with. Lavyapa has quite a few moments that will make you go, making it extremely relatable. Be it the guy who records himself doing charitable acts, or Grusha referencing Mukesh from the pre-movie screening ads in movie theaters. You know, the guy who didn't quit smoking and tobacco and then I don't know what happened to him. Then there's a drawer with wires and cords of God knows what appliance, which is there in every house. Mine is right there. Or the repurposing of gifts which were given by a former lover and you just give it to the next lover. It happens. So, what are the things that could have been dealt with better or could have been less confusing? Let's start with the fact that it's not very cool for parents to impose ridiculous conditions on their grown up independent sons and daughters about their partner of choice. Unless, of course, they are an obvious red flag like a criminal or something. Making them swap their phones is out of the question. Second, how about laying the foundations of a healthy relationship at home? Except for that one scene where he recovers the deleted data, there is no evidence in almost the rest of the movie that the father is a good example of a healthy male relation in Bani's life. The two daughters are constantly lying to their father or walking on eggshells. It's natural that Bani would pick a problematic guy to marry, na? Okay, Gaurav. Now, this Gaurav humiliates his friends, all of them, for an unfounded reason, and they're okay to forgive him? This guy Gaurav is a red flag in friendships as well. Wow. Finally, the plot does not match the message of the story, which is that to have a healthy, strong relationship, you need to be an honest person to your partner. The plot, however, shows two people who indeed are not honest. And in the tussle between who is more wrong, we see a woman who flirts with other men, maybe because she's naive and she does not know their intentions, but she knows it's wrong enough to not tell her boyfriend about it. And we see a man who has anger issues, who does not respect his girlfriend's father, and who discourages a person who is facing virtual sexual harassment from taking the matter to the police. So, second chances and trust is all understandable, but it does not apply to these two. These two should call it quits. In fact, this message is more effectively conveyed by the subplot pair. The movie connects with the current generation, but honestly connects with anyone who uses social media excessively. The problem of infidelity has been there since forever. It's only just recently that the grounds have somewhat become even. Overall, Lavyapa is a good movie, and you can only imagine how much better it could have been with a different lead pair. Watch it, it's fun.